Miho Nagai from Winona State University. As I said, I'm in Minnesota, United States. Okay, so the title of my presentation is Trigger Creativity and Learning in an EFL Class via Hip Hop Light Feet Music. Sounds exciting, right? I hope you guys enjoy doing this activity with me. Okay, so let's see. All right, so in this talk, I'd like to share with you a fun activity to engage students in learning. And here we will focus on vocab learning activities. And you can do this activity in online or face-to-face setting. Of course, I love to do this activity in face-to-face setting, but also I'm teaching online course, completely online synchronous. So it's possible to do this online. I did a couple of times and it's good for students to wake them up. Okay, so this is a warm-up class activity at the beginning of class, uh, which would take 5 to 10 minutes, not more than 15 minutes. Keep it short. And doing this activity at the beginning of the class, we take advantage of the effect of primacy and recency, okay? And this works when it comes to learning and memory. So it's claimed that you are more likely to remember what you learned in the beginning of class, okay? And this is so-called the effect of primacy. The effect of recency is that you are also more likely to remember the last thing you learned, more recent stuff. So for that reason, we want to put this activity at the beginning of the class or maybe at the end of the class for review or reflection. I've never done that at the end of the class. I usually do this at the beginning of the class. Okay, and I am going to use hip hop music for this exercise, right? Who hates hip hop, right? And I also introduce light feet music. So I'm going to talk about this in a minute. Now, target language, as I said, it's a EFL, the beginning level. So today's demonstration is really beginning level, okay? Probably it's good for younger students, like middle school students or maybe even younger. However, it can adapt and apply to classes at all levels. It's up to you. And ultimately, my goal is to apply this in any foreign language class. And the purpose is to promote vocab learning and retention, as well as student engagement, because I believe learning is state dependent. Okay, so what is light feet? Of course, light feet is hip hop dance, and maybe many people know hip hop dance in 80s, early 90s. That's a now it's called like old school hip hop. So just give you some sense, this is old school hip hop dance. Just okay, so this is so-called old school hip hop, like get dizzy, right? Hip hop originated in the South Bronx, New York. So if you are familiar with that type of hip hop dance, you are older, mature like me, right? Now, light feet dance emerged around the 2006, according to the light feet dancers I interviewed. It's a more advanced form of hip hop based on the earlier hip hop dance steps. And they dance to the light feet music beats. And the light feet music has distinctive rhythm and beats. And those dancers are actually creating music beats actually. And I'm going to show you a little bit, okay? Okay, so here, this is a LITE FEET dance, okay? So the reason why I show you this video is that you saw many children are here, right? Many children are learning this dance, and now many LITE FEET dancers are teaching and passing their culture, the LITE FEET dance, to the next generation. I think that's fantastic. And music, maybe you noticed that music a little faster, right? And they are using more footwork. So, you know, feet, like feet, right? Get light. So they say get light, just like, you know, get busy, okay? So like I said, I believe all learning is state dependent. And once again, I am going to show you LITE FEET dance, a little bit better quality in terms of video quality, okay? So please feel the vibe again, and please pay attention to the dancer's facial expression and the body moves, okay? Once again, Mr. YouTube. Okay, so did you dance? How do you feel? How does it feel when you see them smiling and dancing? I hope you feel excited. I hope. Maybe you don't dance usually, or you don't know how to dance, but it doesn't matter. You know, when you listen to the music, you want to move your body to the music, right? They all said they're happy when they dance. It's a joy, right? And this is so important. It's so important to smile and stay positive when you learn something because, you know, like I said, all learning is state dependent. That means learning happens when you are emotionally happy and excited, okay? So I'll come back to this later. Okay, so please remember, all learning is state dependent. Now, after this session, if you are teaching languages, right, that's even better. You can apply this. You can try this out in your class. You will be able to create and conduct vocabulary learning activities by way of hip hop music beats, and you will be able to develop a plan to stimulate student engagement, and you will be you will be able to apply hip hop's strength to your language class, which emphasizes the importance of being resourceful. You know, use your resource wisely, focus on what is possible. Okay. All right, so vocabulary is a crucial component of second language acquisition, but it's hard to form an instructional emphasis on word learning. And of course, we do, you know, all summative and formative assessments, right? Doing a quiz and tests and oral exams, games and puzzles, and we are using all sorts of apps these days, but do they enjoy, right? How do you motivate students? So one of the ideas I'd like to use is a complex brain network. You know, a complex brain network stores and retrieves information more efficiently than a small network. So based on this, students should use multiple components while engaging an activity. So, you know, Dr. Katz says, your body moves. As your body moves, your brain grooves. Yeah. So it's good to have new experiences that combine physical senses with emotions, right? So that we can give your brain new stimulation. Yes. Okay. Now, the second thing is why hip hop, right? But like I said, who hates hip hop, right? But how is it relevant? Well, it's relevant because, as you know, hip hop is a cultural movement on a worldwide scale. And hip hop's strength lies in the diversity of its concepts. Now, to make a point, I'm going to show you again, very short video, okay?
ねなら意味ねえし俺なら元気乗り方なら若手より誰よりもウェイビーブー乗りこなしていくだけの話これ間違いないぜ顔面に落とした核弾頭お前チェリーボーイライカサクランボーさくらんぼお前顔面しょっぱいカルパット誰こいつまた飛び入り上手46 AKA コレステロール
This is brilliant. I can keep watching forever, right? So this is why you can apply this hip hop to any foreign language class, even Japanese kids enjoying a hip hop rap battle, right? Okay, and then also hip hop pedagogy can be utilized in any content area. So this idea has been, published, so you can actually check Chris M. Dean's work. It's really brilliant. Okay, so I like to use this idea. And like I said, I use hip hop music in this activity, and I use both, general hip hop rhythm, slightly slower, right? Because light beat music is really fast. So I want to move from slower to a little bit fast. Okay, so this is a general hip hop. General hip hop is actually not that fast. Okay, so this. Right, and then the light feet music. You see, a little faster. Okay, and when you use light feet music, as I said, dancers are creating music beats. So you can go to soundcloud.com and you can easily find light feet music. And then if you want to use this, use beats only, no vocals, because we are practicing speaking and fluency. So the vocals might get distracted. Yeah, you might get distracted. Okay. All right. So next. So let's keep your neurological lanes open. Okay, so like I said, we want to use multiple components. Okay, so I am usually using pictures, audio, and a little body movements, and then maybe, of course, we are talking, we're practicing speaking, right? Right, and the most people are only using vision and hearing by default. So of course, using vision and hearing, this is good. However, it's not good enough, okay? You want to, better focus, like a sharper focus. And basically by doing this, using multiple components, you are stimulating your brain so that you can better memorize information or vocab items more efficiently. Yeah, and as you see, each of your senses has each section in your brain and has their own pathway. So ideally, we don't want to close these pathways down, right? So in addition to vision and hearing, you want to add one more, right? The body movements or speaking, use your mouth. And Dr. Katz even mentioned like making a new connection with your nose, like a smell. This is a little bit challenging. However, in the online environment, if students are taking your class like in the kitchen, you can go to the kitchen counter and then grab some essential oil. That's I've never done that, but I think someone should test this out, linking a new smell to your activities, because your brain always benefits new experiences. You know, the novelty stimulates learning, right? So yes, that's one of the suggestions. Okay, so let's accelerate student learning. Um, so like I said, all learning is state dependent because we don't remember just the data as information. We remember the memory that touches us emotionally, right? Information by itself is forgettable, but the information tied to an emotional state is unforgettable, right? So information combined with emotion becomes a long-term memory. And just as a special formula, the information times emotion, right? Excitement, and that's a 10 points out of 10 equals to learning, right? However, what if excitement is 0, right? No excitement, let's say 0, right? So information and boredom 0 equals to 0. How, right? Because what anything times 0 becomes 0. All learning is state dependent. Now, how do you adjust your state? Well, first thing is mind, and then second thing is body. So, you know, psychology and then physiology, right? So you need to be excited to apply. So that's why cultivating the states of curiosity and playfulness is so important. Yeah. And then also, we want to make a new connection, right? Connecting hip hop and then with your learning activity. Okay, now let's have some fun, okay? So this is, I am using picture cards with some cues, and this is a vocab verb inflection. So combining phrases and then moving to making a sentence. And then this is really elementary level, like junior high school level vocab. And then the music, so I am going to use slower music and moving towards the fast light feet music, okay? And always remember the essence is creativity and then playfulness. And please dance, please dance. And, you know, have your students stand up, not just the sitting, right? Too much screen time is not really great. So, you know, stand up and sit down, like really simple movements would help. So, you know, please dance, but put yourself on mute, okay? All right, um, so this one is really very simple picture. So you can really create your own activities, but this is for the sake of simplicity. I am using really simple materials, right? So this girl, she is Mary, right? The Mary sees someone, the Mary buys someone, something, and then Mary drinks something. Now, here, students should know, okay, students should work on the vocab list, and students should know what each verb means, of course, right, before we do this activity. Yeah, so to some extent. Okay, and yeah, well, let's do it, okay? So I'm gonna show you how to do that. So let's start with the slower music, okay? Okay, so you can do this with me, right? 1, 2, let's go. Mary sees, Mary buys, Mary drinks, Mary this, So this one, the students practice, you know, the subject-verb agreement, right? Now, you can go a little faster.
This is wet.
Two, 1, 2, let's go. Mary, please. Something like this. This is a super easy version, right? The second one, like a second, a little bit upgraded one is we can add the direct object, right? Mary sees Tom. Mary buys shoes. And Mary drinks coffee, right? So actually it describes this picture, each picture, right? Okay, so let's do a slower one first. You can do that with me. Two, 1, 2, let's go. Mary buys shoes. Mary drinks coffee. Yeah, you can do this like a singing. Okay. Stopping this one, right? Okay, now let's do a little fast. Okay.
This is wet.
Two, 1, 2, let's go. Mary sees Tom. Mary buys shoes. She buys shoes. You can even go faster, like tongue twister. Yeah. And then the last step is you can hide a certain part and then have the students create phrases, go faster and more spontaneous way. So yeah, you can still use this cue, right? So please, I'm gonna play this music, so please try this out. One, two, 1, 2, let's go. Something like this. This is really upgraded version, okay? Now, after doing this, right, you want to do a little follow-up activity, right? Otherwise, students just enjoy and then next day, that music was good, right? So you want to do some active recall, spaced repetition exercise. So after this activity, okay, check how much of the information or how many verbs students can recall. Okay, so this is so-called active recall exercise, and you need to make a distinction between recognition versus recollection. So that's why I don't want to do this exercise like a multiple choice question. However, of course, you can use, you know, vocab items like a pair work and assignments or low stake quizzes like using a Quizlet or word wall, right? However, make sure you do forced recall testing of all items. Well, this can be done through in-class performance or interview or even assignments like recorded assignments, right? And review the material the next day or a few days later. So the repetition is really important. So next day, maybe you can change the music, right? If possible, right? So repeatedly review the materials at the similar intervals. Do it for 4 days in a row, right? Quick review activity at the beginning of the class. Okay, so ideally, yeah, so students describe each picture, but also students make a story or narrative task. They can do narrative task, like combining everything, right? So force them to recall by hiding certain items, for example, like I did here. So force students to generate the sentence, right? So eventually, I sometimes do like a narrative task or storytelling, right? Not multiple choice questions. Okay. All right. So in summary, it's a good to blend multiple elements. And if you are doing verbs, verb inflection, then from small one, small phrase to a bigger phrase and making a sentence, and do some follow-up comprehension checks, and then forced recall testing, recollection, not recognition, and use hip-hop music. And hip-hop music creates a space where self-expression will be really appreciated. And then, you know, you should enjoy doing this, okay? Because learning is state dependent. All right, that's all. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes, at this time we'll take questions. You can either chat them or ask them if you want to turn on your mic and ask. So if I could ask, oh, please, Thomas, go ahead.
Okay, Miho, thank you very much for your presentation. I really enjoyed it. I think it's a great idea how to teach a foreign language. I was just wondering what the students are actually doing. They're dancing. They're doing some moves, right? Hip hop moves.
Yeah.
While they're saying sentences such as "Mary buys shoes," I was just wondering whether, you know, what the students are actually saying, like "Mary buys shoes" or "Mary sees Tom," shouldn't be somehow reflected in what they're actually doing with their bodies.
Yes. Sometimes I do that. Like, for example, yes, drink something, drink tea, then drink tea, or you know, reading books and reading books. Yes. Sometimes with gesture, definitely sometimes. But yes, it's easy to do that way in a actual classroom, face-to-face classroom.
Okay.
Online, well, at least it's good to you know, move their bodies. So at least I have them stand up and doing that. But actually, it's so hard for me to check each one of them. Yeah, but.
Okay. And George, if it's okay, I'd like to ask one more question.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, is it okay? And then you said that learning happens when you are emotionally happy and excited. I do understand the connection between, emotions and learning. I'm just wondering whether one has to be excited in order to learn. I try to picture my students. They're not always excited.
No, yeah,
but
I know.
They're concentrated.
Yeah.
They're still feels like they're still learning.
Yes, I know. But yes, so that's also that I came up with this idea because of, yes, exactly what you described. So I decided to enjoy myself first. Okay. Like, so first, they look at me like, have you lost your mind? Kind of like first. But if I do this, then okay, if you do this, yes. So they are smiling. They start to smile, right? So first, I think teachers should enjoy what they are doing. Yes. So try to, smile and then try to do this. And if some of the students still look like, don't worry, they will do that eventually. Yes. And make a breakout rooms, the small group setting, they tend to, do some talk to each other better, more, and also put on their camera on, so yeah, don't give up. Don't give up.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you so much. We have about 1 minute left, and then we need to get set up for our next session. Overcoming problems associated with remote learning in the Japanese EFL university context. And that's with Pino Cutrone and Bei Siuki. Sorry, not sure about that pronunciation. Ladies and gentlemen, could maybe you turn on your cameras? Could we have a round of applause for Miho Nagai? Thank you so much. Thank you.